Right now, someone is thinking about you, not because you're attractive, not because you're successful, but because you accidentally triggered something deep in their unconscious mind. Human attraction doesn't work the way you think it does. It follows predictable psychological patterns that most people never learn. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what those patterns are. These aren't manipulation tactics. These aren't cheap tricks. These are the 9 cognitive triggers that make certain people absolutely magnetic, while others remain completely invisible to everyone around them. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some people can walk into a room and instantly captivate attention, while others struggle to be remembered. And more importantly, you'll know exactly how to become one of those magnetic people yourself. The psychology of obsession is surprisingly simple once you see it. Let's begin. The scarcity trap. Here's something that will make you uncomfortable. The more available you are to someone, the less they value you. This isn't cynicism. This is basic psychology. Researchers call it the scarcity principle, and it's one of the most powerful forces in human attraction. We want what we cannot have. In 1975, psychologists conducted what became known as the cookie jar experiment. They gave participants cookies from 2 jars, one nearly full, one almost empty. The cookies were identical, but people consistently rated the scarce cookies as more desirable, more valuable, even tastier. Your availability works the same way. When you're always available, always responding instantly, always saying yes, you become the full jar. Predictable, easy, taken for granted. This doesn't mean playing games or being deliberately cold. It means having a life full enough that you genuinely cannot be available every moment. It means your time has actual value because you have actual demands on it. Time becomes precious when it's genuinely limited. The person who is difficult to pin down because they are pursuing their own goals, their own interests, their own growth, that person becomes infinitely more interesting than someone who drops everything the moment you call. But this leads us to something even more counterintuitive. Emotional peaks. Flat relationships don't create obsession. Predictable people don't occupy space in your mind. What creates psychological attachment isn't constant positivity, it's emotional variance. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement, and it's the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. The unpredictable reward captures your brain completely. When someone is consistently nice, consistently available, consistently predictable, your brain adapts. It stops paying attention. But when someone creates moments of unexpected warmth followed by periods of distance, your brain stays alert, trying to figure out the pattern. Now, I'm not telling you to manipulate people with hot and cold behavior. That's toxic. What I'm telling you is that emotional flatness kills attraction. The person who can be genuinely warm when they're present, but also has the strength to create space, that person becomes psychologically interesting. Think about your own experience. The people you think about most aren't the ones who are always there. They are the ones who create memorable emotional peaks. Memorable emotional peaks. If this is making you rethink your approach to relationships, hit like and subscribe to keep exploring the depths of your psyche with me. There's so much more to uncover about what really drives human connection. Speaking of which, what if the key to attraction has nothing to do with what you do for others? Mystery factor. Most people make a critical mistake in attraction. They reveal everything too quickly. Every thought, every feeling, every detail of their life offered up immediately in hopes of creating connection. But this violates one of the most fundamental principles of human psychology. We are obsessed with what we do not fully understand. The Zeigarnik effect, discovered by psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik in 1927, demonstrates that our minds fixate on incomplete information. Unfinished tasks occupy more mental space than completed ones. Unanswered questions create cognitive tension that demands resolution. This is why mystery is magnetic. When someone doesn't reveal everything about themselves, when there are still questions to answer, stories untold, depths unexplored, our minds keep returning to them, trying to complete the picture. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. The most captivating people understand this instinctively. They share genuinely, but they don't flood. They reveal themselves in layers over time. Each conversation leaves you with new understanding, but also new questions. They are books you cannot finish in one sitting. This doesn't mean being evasive or playing games. It means understanding that depth takes time to reveal, and rushing that process actually destroys attraction rather than building it. But mystery alone isn't enough. What matters even more is how you make people feel about themselves. The mirror effect. Here's a truth that will change how you see every interaction. People don't fall for you. They fall for how you make them feel about themselves. This is the mirror effect, and it's perhaps the most powerful principle in human attraction. When you're around certain people, you feel more intelligent, more interesting, more alive. Around others, you feel smaller, dimmer, less significant. Reflection. The people who master attraction are the ones who become positive mirrors. They see potential in others and reflect it back. They ask questions that make people feel fascinating. They listen in ways that make people feel truly heard. Carnegie wrote about this decades ago, but most people still don't understand it. You can make more friends in 2 months by being genuinely interested in other people than in 2 years by trying to get them interested in you. This isn't flattery. Flattery is hollow and people sense it. This is genuine curiosity about another person's inner world. It's the ability to make someone feel like the most interesting person in the room, because in that moment, to you, they are. The magnetic person isn't the one telling impressive stories about themselves. They're the one asking questions that make others tell their best stories. They're the mirror that makes people see their best selves. And this connects directly to something even deeper about human nature. Confident silence. Most people are terrified of silence. They fill every pause with nervous chatter. They talk to avoid the discomfort of quiet moments, and in doing so, they destroy their own attractiveness. Silence speaks louder than words. The person who can hold silence without anxiety radiates a specific kind of power. They don't need external validation. They don't need to fill space to feel comfortable. They are complete within themselves. Psychologically, this signals emotional stability. It communicates that you are not desperate for connection, not anxious about being judged, not afraid of your own company. These are all deeply attractive qualities. The person who speaks less, but says more becomes unforgettable. Think about the most charismatic people you know. They're not the ones who dominate every conversation. They're the ones who listen fully, pause thoughtfully, and speak only when they have something worth saying. Their words carry weight because they don't waste them. This is about quality over quantity. Every word you speak should earn its place. Every silence should be comfortable, not anxious. The person who masters this creates a gravitational pull. Others lean in, wanting to hear what they'll say next. But confidence in silence is only half the equation. What you do with your body matters just as much. Body language code. Before you speak a single word, your body has already told others everything they need to know about you. Research by Albert Mehrabian famously suggested that over 90% of communication is nonverbal. While those exact numbers are debated, the core truth remains. Your body speaks louder than your words. Your body reveals what your mouth tries to hide. The psychology of attraction is written in posture, eye contact, and movement. Expansive posture, taking up space, keeping shoulders back, head held high, signals confidence and status. Contracted posture signals insecurity and submission. Eye contact is particularly powerful. Studies show that prolonged eye contact increases feelings of connection and even romantic attraction between strangers. The simple act of holding someone's gaze a moment longer than comfortable creates intimacy. But there's a subtle art to this. Too much eye contact becomes aggressive. Too little suggests disinterest or low confidence. The magnetic person knows how to use eye contact like punctuation, emphasizing important moments, creating connection without overwhelming. They move with purpose. They don't fidget. They take up space without apology. Their body communicates before they ever open their mouth. I am comfortable with who I am. And that comfort is deeply, almost primitively attractive. This brings us to something most people completely overlook: emotional anchoring. There's a reason you remember certain people for years, while others fade from memory within days. It has nothing to do with how attractive they were or how much time you spent together. It has everything to do with emotional anchoring. Your brain stores people through the emotions they create. The neuroscience is clear. Memory and emotion are processed in neighboring regions of the brain, and emotional experiences create stronger, more lasting memories. The person who makes you laugh until you cry, who shares a moment of genuine vulnerability, who creates an experience of awe or excitement, that person gets anchored in your mind. This is why ordinary interactions create ordinary impressions. The person who follows the expected script, small talk, polite questions, safe topics, never breaks through to long-term memory. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. The magnetic person understands this instinctively. They don't create neutral experiences. They create peaks, moments of genuine emotion, whether that's laughter, curiosity, inspiration, or meaningful connection. They're not afraid to go deeper than surface level, to ask the question others won't ask, to share the observation others hold back. Create emotional memories. But emotional anchoring works best when combined with one specific behavior that most people get completely wrong: strategic absence. This might be the most counterintuitive principle of all. To become unforgettable, you sometimes need to disappear. Absence. French philosopher La Rochefoucauld understood this centuries ago. Absence diminishes small loves and increases great ones. As the wind blows out a candle and fans a fire, when you are always present, always available, you become the wallpaper of someone's life, there but unnoticed. When you periodically create space, you allow something crucial to happen. They miss you. The psychology here is powerful. Absence creates a vacuum that imagination fills. They replay memories. They wonder what you're doing. They notice the space you used to occupy. Distance makes presence meaningful. This doesn't mean disappearing in a manipulative way or playing games with people's emotions. It means having a life full enough that you naturally have periods of lower availability. It means understanding that constant presence can actually decrease your value in someone's perception. The most magnetic people have full lives. They have passions, projects, friendships, and interests that genuinely occupy their time and attention. Their presence is valued precisely because it is not guaranteed. They cannot be taken for granted because they cannot always be there. This leads us to perhaps the most important psychological principle of all: authentic polarity. Here's what destroys attraction faster than anything else: trying to please everyone. People pleasers repel attraction. When you have no opinions, no boundaries, no edges, you become invisible. You blend into the background noise of everyone else who is too afraid to be themselves. Polarity is what creates magnetic attraction: having genuine opinions, being willing to disagree, having standards and boundaries that you actually enforce. Not everyone will like you. And that's not just okay, it's essential. The person everyone likes is the person no one desires. The most attractive people have clear identities. They know what they value, what they want, what they will and won't accept. They express genuine reactions, enthusiasm when interested, disinterest when not. They don't pretend to like things they don't like. Psychologically, this creates safety. It communicates that you are trustworthy because you are honest, that your compliments mean something because you're not afraid to express disagreement, that your presence is a choice, not a desperate need for acceptance. Authenticity polarizes. Some people won't like you, but those who do will be genuinely attracted, not just comfortable. And genuine attraction is infinitely more powerful than universal tolerance. But all of these principles mean nothing without this final piece: self-completion. Everything I've told you today becomes meaningless if you miss this final truth. The most attractive quality in any human being is completeness, wholeness. The person who needs others to feel whole will always repel attraction. The person who is already complete, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, becomes magnetic precisely because they don't need anyone to complete them. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. This is the paradox at the heart of human attraction. The moment you stop needing connection is the moment you become capable of creating genuine connection. When you pursue your own growth, your own interests, your own healing, you naturally develop every quality we've discussed. You become scarce because you have a full life. You create emotional peaks because you're genuinely passionate. You maintain mystery because you have depth. You become a positive mirror because you're not threatened by others' success. You grow from seed to light to transformation. The magnetic person is not trying to attract anyone. They are simply being fully themselves, pursuing their own growth, living their own purpose. And ironically, that complete self-focus creates the very magnetism that draws others in. You cannot fake this. You can only become it. Human attraction isn't random. It isn't luck. It isn't about being born with certain features or advantages. It follows predictable patterns. The 9 principles we've explored today: scarcity, emotional variance, mystery, mirroring, confident silence, body language, emotional anchoring, strategic absence, authentic polarity, and self-completion. These aren't manipulation tactics. They are insights into how the human psyche actually works. The people who seem naturally magnetic aren't following a script. They've simply developed these qualities through their own growth and self-understanding. And here's the profound truth. Every single one of these qualities becomes natural when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Stop trying to make people like you. Start becoming someone you deeply respect. Stop performing for others' approval. Start pursuing your own genuine development. The obsession others feel toward magnetic people isn't about tricks. It's about encountering someone who is genuinely, unapologetically, completely themselves. If you made it this far, comment magnetic psyche if you're ready to apply these principles. Welcome to the Psyche Project. If this changed how you see attraction, subscribe for more psychological insights that transform.